stamping friends. Today I'm going to share this card with you and how I made it using some scraps of designer paper. Great way to use up your designer paper, and it really doesn't take long once you figure out your layout. So I'm also using the Sweet Strawberry stamp set, the Happy Birthday from it, and it comes currently as a bundle with that stamp set and this punch that punches out the 4 shapes. So I'm going to show you how I punch out the strawberry hull leaf, which I put here on the inside, and how I put the card together. So the other thing that I'm using in this card that I didn't use in the others is this paper, which is very delightful designer paper. It comes as part of a bundle, celebration bundle. If you spend $120 or more in Canada, you get this other stamp set with berries on it and the designer paper. So a great deal at this time for that. So I will get started. I have matched up the paper, used the colors in the designer paper to pick my cardstock. So it is the Poppy Parade cardstock, and I like to do my folding on my piercing mat because it seems to keep my card a little flatter when I do that. Plus I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on here. I've already done the greeting, but for the inside strawberry I used the 2-step stamps. So I used the solid one, stamped it off on my paper, and then onto my final copy. And then for the second step, I just used full strength ink and almost got it lined up. And I decided it did need its green hull piece at the top, so I have stamped, and again that's a 2-step stamp, and it does line up in your punch so that well, almost lines up. Looks like I've got an extra bit of paper here that's bothering me, so I will just trim it off. That's better. So now I can, if you line it up and just gently squeeze on the punch till you're happy with where it is, and then you can punch. And you can see I'm going to get a whole bunch of paper I don't want, so I usually try to do that away from my work surface so that it doesn't go flying everywhere. And just need my glue, and I will put that on so it can kind of set while we do the front of the card. So for the front, I decided my layout, and on this one, it's a little bit different than the one I showed you to begin with. So I think this one I will put landscape. Nope, can't now. Just stamp that on that way. So I guess it'll go the other way. And because my paper is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, my white is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it's really not much, as you can see on here. There's not a lot of space. So rather than put these on and try to wiggle them and do whatever, what I did on this one, and I think most crafters will have some tape in their room, I turned my pieces over once I knew how I wanted them to go, and I just taped them together. Just not like lined up exactly, but not taped all over kind of thing. So I'm going to flip these and do the same thing. So I made my 3 rows, and then I taped them together, and then I glued them to the white with the liquid multi-purpose glue, because I knew that I could wiggle it a little bit if I somehow didn't have it lined up correctly. So you could use either side of the designer paper. As you know, it has, as you probably know, it has, most of it has designs on two sides. So once I had that together, then I did, like I say, I lined them up this way and just a couple pieces of tape to hold them. Oh, obviously not very well on that one. Should be. Well, I am working on a flat surface. Don't know why that happened, but anyway. And I will check the front side before I apply glue. A little bit of space there, but I can use my words over that part. So then I did make sure that I glued all of the edges. So I'm putting glue on each piece, and then, whoa, should have had a piece of tape there. So now be careful because I've got glue on there. Let me see if I can do this without too many catastrophes. So you can see just a slight edge of white, but I think it really makes the colors pop. So once I'm satisfied with that, I would definitely burnish it like this. And then I will use the glue again, because again, I don't have a lot of wiggle room on the card base. But sometimes the narrow edges like that are all we need. So there's my card. Looks totally different with different paper, but I think it still does the trick. You could make quite a number of them when you've got your, at the end of your designer paper and just little pieces left. I will have in the instructions all the measurements so that you have them. And then my happy birthday was on with dimensionals. So a great stamp set, and looks so bright and colorful for springtime, which we hope will come soon. So where do I want to put this one? I could put it right in the center. I'm thinking maybe this one I will put over here just for something different. And then I used champagne rhinestones. These are stored in my standard stamp cases. It's a tongue twister that we can get, and I store a lot of my embellishments in there, and really like the fact that you can look at them and see what you've got. And because on this one I wasn't quite sure what I was going to put. I didn't want a ribbon, but I think that worked really well, just to give it a little bit of shine and shimmer. So there we go. That is another card with the berry set.